Okay, we are recording. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Beth Isbell. I am a coach on our team. Mallory and I work really closely together on running challenge groups, running these coach sneak peeks to introduce people to what we do as coaches, and it's just way more fun that way. I will say, I apologize for looking like I'm homeless, but I showered earlier and I was like, I don't really want to put on makeup. I'm going to take it off again. So you're getting me in my pajamas and no makeup, which is fine. One of the cool things about coaching is that you get to show up like this every day. So kind of how this is going to work is I am going to kind of share a little bit about my story and talk a little bit about what coaching is, what we do as coaches, the time commitment that it involves, and what kind of support you will have if you decide that this is an opportunity that you want to take advantage of. And then I'll pass it over to Mallory, and she will talk a little bit about kind of how we get paid, the discount that you get with coaching, and one of the most fun things that I feel like we talk about on these sneak peeks is kind of addressing some of those objections that you may have about coaching, you know, things like you don't have enough time, or you feel like you need to have a big transformation before you get started, or you're not a nutritionist or a fitness expert, some of those things like that. And then we'll kind of talk about what to do next if coaching is something that you want to be a part of. So this is super informal and casual. We kind of just like to start by sharing our stories because I feel like it's a really good opportunity for you guys to see how two people with very different stories who came to coaching for very different reasons and kind of found coaching for different reasons still get the same amount of greatness out of coaching, even though our stories are so different. And it really just ties into all the content that we want to share with you guys tonight. So if you have any questions along the way about anything that we're talking about, please feel free to pop those in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself. Or this recording will, of course, be posted in the Sneak Peek event page on Facebook, or we can send it to you directly and then follow up with you if you have any questions after that for sure. But like I said, my name is Beth Isbell. I have been coaching for, oh my goodness, 2.5 years. I think. I lose track, time flies by so fast, but 2.5 years. I've been doing Beachbody programs for 3 years, and they have totally changed my life. And that's kind of how I came to coaching. I knew nothing about coaching. All I knew about health and fitness was that it was something that I've struggled with my entire life. I was overweight as a young child and then kind of grew out of that once I got into high school and college. And then for those of you that are anything like me, whenever I hit about 22 years old, my metabolism decided to just quit working. And so I couldn't eat like I had always eaten. And I had to start exercising because I had gained about 35 pounds towards my junior year of college. And so, and you know, I think for those of us who have been on a health and fitness journey for more than a second, we oftentimes know that when we're in those moments and those kind of life phases where we're not our healthiest physically, it's typically because we're allowing some kind of emotional or mental baggage or stress to kind of take hold, and that physical, you know, the physical weight that we feel like we're carrying around is kind of just a side effect of that, which is not something that I realized at the time. I just knew that I had gained 35 pounds and I was really unhappy and miserable, borderline depressed, and I couldn't figure out why, because everything from the outside, you know, as far as my life was concerned, seemed to be going just fine. I was graduating college. I had met my now husband. He was about to graduate. I got accepted into grad school. I had gotten what was my dream job, I thought at the time. And so everything kind of just seemed picture perfect, but I just wasn't happy and I had gained all this weight. So that kind of onset I guess the beginning of my health and fitness journey. I started competing in pageants just to force myself to lose the weight, because what better way to force yourself into shape than to stand on a stage in a swimsuit, which is actually how I met Mallory. I did a fitness competition to force myself to lose the weight. And it was just this onset of just ebb and flow of yo-yo dieting and crash dieting, and then, you know, losing the weight and then putting it back on because I wasn't creating sustainable lifestyle habits. And so that is kind of a piece of my story that I don't know a lot of people from the outside really know. I think that it's so easy to judge a book by its cover, like we're so good at doing, and thinking, you know, like, oh, she works out every day or she exercises every day and shares healthy recipes, this must be easy for her. But it is always something that I have struggled with. And so I moved to Oklahoma in 2014, and I met a lady that I was actually working with at the time who I knew worked out from home, and I knew that she drank this shake, but that is the extent of what I knew. I didn't know anything about Beachbody. I didn't know anything. And so she had asked me a couple times to do a workout program with her, and I kept telling her no, honestly, because I was just convinced that there was no way that I could get the results that I needed by working out at home and following this nutrition plan that she was following. Because like I said, I had that mentality of chicken, rice, and broccoli and 2 hours a day in the gym every day was just what I thought I needed at the time. So anyway, she asked me like for 6 months if I would do this program with her, and I kept telling her no. And it was towards the end of 2014. Of course, I had set some New Year's resolutions for 2015 to lose 10 pounds and to get healthy and to focus on myself again. And with that came her asking me one more time if I would do this new program with her. Apparently, Beachbody is who she did her workouts through. Never heard of them before. I'd heard of Insanity and P90X, but she told me that Beachbody was coming out with a brand new program. It was a 60-day program, and she wanted me to do it with her. She was like, we'll just text each other our sweaty selfies. We'll follow the meal plan. We'll work out, and we'll do it for 60 days. Finally, I was like, okay, fine. Like, what do I need to do? Stop asking me. I only said yes because I was tired of her asking me. And so that was before. For those of you that are, I know we have someone here who maybe you're in an accountability group or a challenge group right now, or maybe you're not yet, but all of our workouts are streamed from a website called Beachbody On Demand. And this was before Beachbody On Demand. So all of our workouts were done on DVD. And so she gave me her DVDs and the meal plan and everything. So I didn't buy a challenge pack. I didn't sign up for anything. She just gave it to me. And we did that program together for 60 days, and it totally changed my life. And if you've completed one of our programs from start to finish, you know what I'm talking about. It was like I lost the 10 pounds, but what happened to me on the inside through that process of losing the 10 pounds was like, it literally changed my life. I had figured out a way to eat food that I enjoyed and that I loved, but that still fit the meal plan and that obviously still catered to my goals and got me to, that goal of losing the 10 pounds. And so it was a really amazing experience. And like I said, I wasn't in a challenge group or anything. We just texted our sweaty selfies back and forth to each other. And so totally changed my life. Well, this friend was a coach, obviously, but she didn't actively like work the business and run challenge groups and accountability groups. And so she never asked me if I wanted to coach or, do this with other people or anything like that. But I just knew that I needed to keep this going somehow. And I knew that the accountability that I had with that one friend, sending our sweaty selfies back and forth to each other, like I needed more of that. So I did a ton of research. I'm a lifelong learner by nature, still in school. And so I did all kinds of research, watched so many YouTube videos on what it meant to be a coach, what that looked like. And literally everything that I found was just like, you focus on your own journey, which is what I wanted to keep doing. You share it with other people, and you run these challenge groups, which is what I needed, the accountability aspect of doing these programs. And so I looked into it and did all my research for about 6 months, finally decided to sign up as a coach, like I said, about 2.5 years ago. And here I am now. So I tell you that to tell you that I got into this business that is now my full-time gig. Like, I quit my full-time job back in January, and I've been doing this full-time for 10 months now, all because I just wanted to hold myself accountable in my own health and fitness journey. Like, that is what started this business and this process for me. And that is what we do as coaches. So that kind of takes me into like our what is a coach? And that is what a coach is. It is somebody who, whether it's a physical goal or whether it's just focusing on yourself from the inside out or becoming a better version of yourself, or whether that's through personal development or our workout programs, it is literally just somebody who wants to make themselves a priority on a consistent basis, who wants to be a cheerleader and a motivator and a supporter and a mentor for other people so that they can change their lives the way that your life is being changed. My main responsibility as a coach is to support others on their health and fitness journey while focusing on my own. And that really is the beauty of this business. You literally get paid to become your best self, not already be your best self, right? Because we're always a work in progress, but to be on that journey while helping other people do the same. So I run monthly accountability groups. where I try to help at least 5 people every single month get plugged into those groups to start their health and fitness journeys. I build a team of coaches who want to continue kind of that ripple effect of doing the same with others. And then we have this really awesome community and tribe that we get together every week for our weekly team calls. We go to live events together, we hang out, we travel, free trips with each other, and it's just seriously the best thing. It's totally changed my life. Like I said, I signed up to be a coach just to hold myself accountable, and it took me a full 12 months. I know one of the objections that Mallory's going to address here in just a little bit is, that fear of kind of putting yourself out there or posting on social media. It took me a full 12 months of being a coach to post a sweaty selfie on my Facebook page because I was worried about what other people's going to think about me. And one of our vital behaviors, which is something that we do every day, is personal development. And the more I did personal development, the more I kind of got over that fear of judgment, which is really what it was. And I realized that it was my responsibility to share how my life was being changed with other people. So the next thing that I wanted to kind of talk about is the amount of time that it takes to be a coach. And the cool thing about this business is you get to determine what that looks like. So it's just like when you're choosing a workout program, right? If you've done one of our programs before, you know that you have hundreds of programs to choose from. They cater to every fitness goal, current fitness level, whatever the case may be. But it might just come down for you. Like maybe you're a new mom like Kaylee and you don't have a ton of time and you need a workout program that's 30 minutes a day. Like you don't have time to do, a 60 or 70-minute workout. The amount of time that you have is the amount of time that you commit to your workout program. Same thing with this business. If you have really big, scary, crazy goals like quitting your full-time job or retiring your spouse or whatever the case may be, the amount of work and effort and ultimately time that you put into your business is going to look very different than somebody who, like me, when I first started, I just wanted to help other people. And then it kind of grew to where I wanted to pay my car note every month. And then I wanted to pay the mortgage every month. And then last July, I decided that I wanted to quit my full-time job by January. So your goals will change as your business grows. And what that looks like for you is kind of dictates how much time you get to put into it. So you get to really put in a ton of time or not a ton of time, take a step back for a bit if life gets in the way. You're in total control of how much time you put into this. So the cool thing about our team is that we will support you at every stage of that goal setting, whatever that commitment looks like. Which kind of leads me to my next point about what kind of support will you have if you decide that you do want to be a coach. Mallory will talk a little bit at the end about kind of what to do next if you do decide that you want to be a coach, once you get all your questions answered, of course. But our team has an incredible amount of resources and trainings that we've created to help make building this business as easy as possible for you and as duplicatable as possible. And what I mean by that is everything from, running these monthly accountability groups and challenge groups to posting on social media, to sending invites, to building your own team, to how our income works, to literally every piece of the business. We have created systems that you can literally just duplicate in your own business. And so it really does make the process super, super simple. But to kind of give you a more concrete idea of what that looks like, you will get a new coach welcome email from the coach that invited you to the sneak peek with a new coach manual attached most times that just kind of walks you through the basics of what it means to be a new coach on our team. We have a new coach training that will get you plugged into. That's kind of a self-paced 30-day training that you can go through at your own pace because this is your business. So it can take you 30 days, it can take you 5 days, or it can take you 3 months. Because that's the beauty of this. And then once you do that, we have lots of leadership groups that we can get you plugged into. And like I said, it just depends on what your goals are. If your goal is to just help 3 people a month, then that's what we're going to help you do. And we have the resources and the trainings to make that happen for you. And then, like I said, if your goal is to quit your full-time job or something crazy like that, we can help you make that happen as well. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Mallory, and she is going to talk a little bit about kind of the payoff of being a coach, the discount that you get, and then address some of those objections that I mentioned earlier.
Okay, awesome. Hi, guys. Just to kind of introduce myself for those of you who don't know me, for Beth's gals that she invited. Like Beth said before, I have known Beth for years. And actually, in the most recent years, until I signed up as a coach, I really knew her via social media. So I knew Beth and like followed her journey a little bit. And actually, I had heard of Beachbody and the programs probably like 10 or 11 years ago. Right around the same time, Beth was like, oh my gosh, I needed to work out. Like I had always been an athlete. I grew up playing soccer. I ran cross country and then like went to college and like drank a lot of beer and discovered like doesn't just come off. Like eating Tostitos, pizza rolls, and beer all the time is like not awesome for you. So that my first like experience with Beachbody was like P90X DVDs because I felt really awkward in a gym. I didn't know what I was doing and ordered P90X 10 years ago. So that was like my first experience with it. I kind of got comfortable, got in super good shape, and fast forward, had babies, got married, and it kind of got introduced to me again at my next stage of life because I had these babies at home and I couldn't leave them. And I had this like massive amount of mom guilt for going to the gym or like stopping at the gym on my way home. You just like every minute that you're away from your baby, especially like when you're a new mom, you just feel this immense amount of guilt. So got back in shape again with P90X. I think the second time I went through it, I actually only had 11 of the 12 DVDs because I had like lost one along the way somewhere. So bonus of having on demand, you like don't lose any of the workouts. They're there all the time. So that got introduced to me again. And then like fast forward again, I meet Beth and we like, I think I met Beth actually like the third time I went through P90X as we were like at nationals for Mrs. United States. So I got in shape for a beauty pageant at home workouts while all these other gals are like using personal trainers. I was like, nope, I was in my living room because I had my 6-month-old baby over here. It's totally fine. So I kind of knew about Beachbody. I didn't know anything really about coaching. I work full time. I am in sales. I am a mom, clearly. I have a couple of children. And since knowing Beth, I actually got divorced. So I went from like this super secure household and having someone be able to pay for my bills. And I had a full-time job, but like wasn't totally necessary to like totally panicking and needed all of the income I could get. So the last couple years was really the first time in my life at like 30 years old that I had to pay my mortgage by myself, that I had to pay bills, that I just had to do everything by myself. And so my mentality about money changed a lot. Like I've been more stressed in the last few years than I've ever been ever. I was not sleeping great. I was in a commission sales job. So when I was married, it was no big deal, but now I have a bad year and I totally freak out because I have a mortgage to pay and I have nothing to fall back on. So last year when I was like super stressed and seeing all of Beth's success with all of these things, I kind of reached out to her and was like, what is this thing? Like I know Beachbody kind of, but I know it from like one workout program I've done. And I sat in on a sneak peek, much like you're doing, and decided immediately, I don't even think I watched the whole thing. Sorry. I love you. I love you now so much. Because I was like, I can't do this. Like I could never talk to all of these people. I just don't feel comfortable doing it. It was one thing like being on a pageant stage where you like don't talk to anyone and you just like are in this zone to like actually talking to people and having people pay attention to me. And so I think I sat in on maybe at least two of Beth's sneak peeks and was like, okay, I don't know, like I just don't know. And then late last year, like I said, I'm in a 100% commission sales job. I lost a massive account and like totally freaked out. And I called Beth like probably maybe a month after the last time we had talked about doing anything Beachbody and was like, okay, I'm ready. Like, I know I totally ignored you. And the last message I had, I think you had messaged me like 2 or 3 times and I didn't even reply because I'm terrible like that. And was like, okay, I'm ready. Sign me up. I have no idea what you're doing. I have no idea how much this costs. I just know that you look like you love it. I think I would be awesome at it and sign me up. So I had no idea what I was doing. I'd never been in a challenge group before. I'd only done P90X on a DVD. I'd never been on Beachbody on demand. I just knew that I thought I could be successful. And Beth talked about all of this training and basically said, you know what, this business is very, very simple. And it is. You have to work at it. It can be a lot of really hard work, but literally do these things that I tell you to do every day and it will work for you. And you know what? It has. Like I signed up in December. I ran my first challenge group last January. I have a goal and a vision board, which coming from me, like sounds crazy because I've never created a vision board. And like, that's how much I wanted this is I have like Disney cruise on there. I'm not kidding you. I booked a Disney cruise last weekend. I texted Beth when I did it and I'm super stoked. I want to quit my job in the next several months. Like that's on the capability list. It's like, literally, do I quit my job or should I redo my kitchen first? I'll figure it out. That just will make life easier with my now spouse. So it really truly is what you make of it. And because I called Beth to talk about money, I will talk to you about the money. So that was like one of the first questions I had, right? Because I'm like a salesperson and I work on commission and I want to know. So basically there's so many different ways that we can make money, but the easiest way to explain it is that we make commission on all of the retail that we sell. So if you're in a challenge group right now and you purchased a challenge pack, whoever sold you that challenge pack made a commission off of you. We make 25% standard commission on everything, but you can make up to like 35 to 40% or something depending on the certain challenge packs. But typically across the board, we make 25% commission. Like that's the easiest, fastest way for you to get 3 people signed up and like next week you get $150 in your bank account. Super easy. Today's actually payday in Beachbody world. So it's awesome. Like all of our people just got paid today, which is amazing. So that's the easiest way. Like if you sign up as a coach, you can go sell things today. The next way that you can get paid is actually when you start building a team. So the first level of us like going up, we call it an emerald coach. It's basically just having 2 coaches underneath you. When you sign up 2 coaches underneath you, you can start getting paid in multiple ways. One, so you're already getting retail commission. You have these other 2 coaches that then you start making a small bit of commission off of them, but then you're also now eligible to receive leads from Beachbody because Beachbody is so, they believe so much that everybody needs a coach that they want people plugged into these challenge groups. If somebody goes to beachbodyondemand.com and signs up without going through a coach, they'll actually assign it to a coach because they want them to be plugged into a challenge group. They want them to have an actual human that they can talk to and ask questions and get answers. So you actually start, I call it like the email fairy, because you start getting commission on stuff that you haven't touched. And then the next level of that is once you start building a team, you start getting, we call it like the team cycle bonuses on those commission on those 2 guys that you have started. Once you have like a massive amount of team, it's to put it simply, when you get to your team to a certain point, you actually start getting a percentage of the company. So like I know I have big goals to by the end of the year be in part of this like 2% of the company sales are actually given away to the top reps in the company. So once you are at a certain level, you actually start getting back extra money from the company. That's just like, it's a bonus. They give them out quarterly. They're a large amount of money. It kind of depends on how the company's doing, but I just know I want it really badly. And it's a lot bigger of a paycheck than I've ever gotten. So just know that there's lots of ways you can make money, and it kind of gets complicated as you get up there, but you got it. So because we get 25% commission on everything, we also get a 25% discount. So I've actually talked to a lot of my challengers who actually have zero interest in coaching, or if they have potential interest in coaching down the road, have signed up as coaches, or I say like a preferred customer, because they know that they love their Shakeology. They know that they're ordering their post-workout or their Energize or whatever, and they're saving money every month. So because we get a 25% discount just with the cost, if you just bought your Shakeology and nothing else ever, you would save $30 a month. So if you are a Shakeology drinker and you know you love it because it's amazing, I would consider signing up as a coach just because it'll save you money. And if you want to cancel it in a year from now or whatever, cool, do it. But in the meantime, single mom happenings, like I'll save money wherever I can. So we talked about the money, we talked about the discount. Beth really covered a lot of things. And I think you probably have a lot of questions and like a lot of like, I don't know what to do now. So I think there's a lot of things that stop people from doing it. Like it took me 6 months from the first conversation to me signing up, and really not asking a ton of questions, of Googling a lot of things, of looking on YouTube videos, literally watching videos of people saying why I shouldn't do this, because I wanted to know every reason possible. And so I think there's so many things that you can look up and find and Google it, because everyone needs their own opinion, and do all of the research you can. And I think the biggest thing that I worried about, because now in my relationship, I've got like 7 children running around the house. I work full time. We like to travel a lot. My spouse is in band, so he's out of town like all the time. So me like trying to figure out like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to figure this out? When we talk about, like, we call it like a power hour of finding time. And I also truly believe, like, if you want something, you will make it happen. I know I was in a place that I needed something to change. So if all I needed to do was to focus an hour of my day on specific things that was literally written out in a list of to-dos for me every day, I can check off a list. I can reach out to people. I'll do it for an hour a day. And I have. And you know what? My business is growing consistently because I'm doing those things consistently, starting at an hour a day. Like, that's really all it is. And the more time you give to it, the more you get back from it. But that's all I had at the beginning. So that's what I did. And it's gotten me to a point now where I can like see a point that I can quit my job or redo my kitchen or whatever. The next thing I think that is a massive thing, and I hear it every day, nearly every time I'm like, oh, I'm doing a coach sneak peek. And they're like, oh my gosh, I just need to lose like 10 more pounds. Like, are you kidding me? I'm so jealous of you that you need to even lose 10 pounds, because when I signed up, I was in pretty decent shape. Like, I got ripped with 80-day obsession, not going to lie. But I wish I needed to lose 30 pounds before I started 80-day obsession, because seeing everyone's transformations is incredible. Because the response I got just from showing up every day and working out and having like pretty good results, because I went from being like kind of fit to like super fit, was awesome. But imagine like if you had to lose those 10, 20, 30 pounds, or if you just had a baby and you're like, oh my gosh, look at this transformation. Amazing. Like, so jealous. And people will relate to you wherever you are in your journey, because you know what? I've gone up and down. I've needed to lose weight since I stopped 80-day obsession. I've needed to do something else. Like, people relate to you where you are at your life. And that's, I think, when we talk about like finding our tribe and finding our people, I'm very specific with the people I invite to our group, because I attract people that are like me. So I attract a lot of people that like working out, that like doing something, that have been super fit, or maybe they're trying to get more in shape. It doesn't really matter where you are. If you want to do this, you make it work for you, and you know how to, we will help you speak to the people that you want on your team. I think another one is, and I was afraid of this too, because I like did all this research and signed up and was like, okay, let's do it. And then I was like, oh my God, I think I went to bed that night, like totally freaking out. Like, what if no one will join the challenge group? Like, I don't have a lot of people on Instagram that follow me. I don't have a lot of Facebook friends. I don't know. I don't really post workout selfies. And everyone has the fear. Like, as I've discovered since like helping other coaches be like, oh my gosh, you're afraid of that too? That's so weird. I did the same thing. Like, I posted something and ran away from my computer for 4 hours and went back to check and was like, holy shit, someone wants to do this with me. This is amazing. Hey, like, look at this. People are commenting on my posts. This is awesome. So I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Like, the more, like, when you put yourself out there and you're like, guys, I'm doing this thing. I'm kind of nervous. I'm kind of, but here's why I want to do this. You will be so surprised at the reaction you get from people and how supportive people can be. Because I think putting yourself out there is a super scary thing. I've had such minimal negative comments or anybody like negative energy back towards me that I don't even care if someone says anything about me now, or if they're like, go put a shirt on, stop sweaty selfieing. I don't care. I don't need you in my challenge group. Like, you're not who I'm looking for, clearly. So I think that's a huge thing, and we will totally help you like create your first post and figure out like what you want to do and how you want to attract those people to your challenge group. I think the other thing, and I think I realized this, like even like Beth and I don't have a nutrition background, or we're not personal trainers. Neither one of us are experts in any way. And I was kind of nervous of that, because when like years ago, I wanted to be a personal trainer, and I think I actually started studying for my ACE certification before I got pregnant. And then it was like, oh, there that goes. Can't train someone when I'm 7 months pregnant. So I was nervous that people were going to look at me and think like, what do you know? Like, you sell radio ads, and cool, you know how to work out, but like, you probably don't know how to eat well, or you've never had to lose 30 pounds. So good luck trying to help me. The thing about these programs is that they're developed and they spend years developing the programs. They spend years developing the nutrition plans, and they do months of testing. I think 80 Day Obsession, they did like 6 months of test groups just to make sure that the workouts were good, that they were doable, that people were getting results, and that the nutrition plans matched the results that people wanted to get. So it's a very integrated program, having Beachbody On Demand and the nutrition plans that come with it. And now even like with the 2B Mindset, that's only nutrition based. I mean, millions of dollars have gone into the research and the funding and everything for Shakeology, and creating the superfood and creating meal plans that surround all of these workout programs to get people maximum results. Everything is out there. All we have to do is just be like, oh, here it is in a nice pretty package. Like, they've done all the research. They've put together the meal plans. Like, it's literally, hey, here's my weight. Here's my results. Oh, there's your meal plan. So easy. The workout programs are easy. Everything is so laid out there. And if you've been on Beachbody On Demand, you already know that. I think that's it as far as like what might be holding you back. If you have any other questions, absolutely let your coach know, the coach that invited you. I think the only thing I would say is, because if you have any questions, let us know. But when you are thinking about this and you're like going back and forth, because I went back and forth with this for a really long time, think about why you're on this call. Think about why you signed up to be a challenger. Think about why the first time that I posted something or Beth posted something, what made you intrigued? What made you interested? What in that moment did you want to change? That's what will get you into this business. That's what will keep you going, is when you figure out why you want to do this, why you're on this call, and why you want to do something different. What do you do what do you want to change? So think about that. And then I would say reach out to the coach that invited you tonight or tomorrow and just kind of talk out, like, what are you thinking about this? What would hold you back? What are your fears? And talk it out, because I think the biggest thing that I lost in not reaching out to Beth and just ghosting her is that I feel like I lost 6 months of doing this. I wish I would have just followed through on the first sneak peek I was on and asked Beth questions the first call I was on, because the moment I said yes, I have never looked back. So if you have questions, please ask them as soon as possible. But other than that, Beth, you're up.
Awesome. Well, I have nothing else to add. That was fabulous. I want to sign up to coach with you now. I don't see any questions in the chat box, but like Mallory said, this recording will be posted in the event page over on Facebook. So rewatch it if you want to, or, reach out to the coach that invited you to the group and ask questions. I hope that from what we've shared with you guys, that it's obvious that there is a place for everybody on this team, whether it's just added accountability. Like, being a coach is the ultimate accountability system. Like, you have to show up. And so, that's why I started. Or if it's a financial reason, like why Mallory started, whatever the case may be, like the community and the support and the sisterhood and the friendships and being in challenge groups and accountability groups, like, it will all change your life, seriously. And we are just living proof of that. And hopefully you guys are able to see that tonight. So that is all that we have for you guys. We almost kept it on time, 8:33. So we look forward to kind of touching base with all of you ladies and following up with you, and hopefully seeing you guys on our team. So we will talk to you all soon, and I hope you have a great rest of your Thursday evening and a good weekend.